Hello, hello, hello! You are tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's first topic, speaks on Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson. Look, I listened to this thing all the way through. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys, or let you guys listen to Joy Taylor make some comparisons to an NBA player to Lamar Jackson. And pretty much they're talking about what was said by John Harbaugh once again about the vision is having Lamar Jackson become the greatest quarterback of all time. And, you know, Acho, of course, immediately was like, I don't think that's realistic. I want to say something to everybody real quick. And before I show the audio, or let y'all listen to the audio, I'm sorry, I keep saying show. I want to say this. When Tom Brady won his first 3, they didn't even have him top 5 all time. You guys recognize that, right? You guys realize that, right? Like, I hate revisionist history. During that time, they said Tom Brady had the team, had the coach, had all that stuff. But they weren't saying that he was a better quarterback than Peyton Manning. That was not happening. They say, yo, Tom, you great and everything, man. But you ain't Montana. That's what was being said. Win more titles than Montana. Tom, be realistic. I want to throw that caveat out there. Because here's the thing. The NFL could switch really quick. Really, really quick. Lamar could get 2 straight. The Ravens can end up winning consecutive Super Bowls. Then it's like, uh-oh. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play her audio, right? And then we're going to break this down even further because I think that needed to be said before this was played. All right? So without further ado, let's listen to it and let's break it down. Let's get this party started.
The vision is that he would be the greatest quarterback ever in the history of the National Football League. He'd be recognized. He sets a vision. Joy, I don't think that's realistic, personally. So let me ask you, and honestly, I can't wait of all the takes that we will hear today and hearing a little bit about what you were about to say. I'm most excited to hear this or for the world to hear it because I've heard a little bit of it. What are realistic expectations for Lamar Jackson?
Realistic. What is the saying? You have all the quotes. Aim for the moon, land on a star.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I nailed that one. Yeah.
I think it's
don't think you should
aim for the
aim
stars,
low.
land on the moon.
So
whatever.
for him to say that, for him to have that vision with Lamar, I'm okay with that. But when we talk about greatest to ever do something, and we have overused this word, I think this word is this term is about as overused as culture, is overused as swag. We constantly just throw these words out there and use them, and they lose their luster. Woke, right? Nobody even knows what it means anymore. To be the greatest player to ever play the game, we already have that, right? That's Tom Brady. And pursuant of that is Lamar Jackson's peer and Patrick Mahomes. And while they have similar individual awards, as team awards go, team accomplishments go, they're not in the same boat. So to me, a realistic expectation for Lamar, something that I hope for him, and I think he will actually accomplish, is I think he will be the dual threat quarterback of this generation that breaks through to win a Super Bowl. But I also think that his influence on the game of football, when that happens, will be more far-reaching than we can quantify with championships or MVPs or notoriety. When you think of someone like a Steph Curry, very few people refer to Steph Curry as the greatest player of all time. They might call him the greatest shooter of all time, but no one really refers to Steph as the greatest player of all time. However, most people unanimously agree that his influence on the game can be seen on every single level internationally. He's transformed how the game of basketball is played,
right.
how it is evaluated, what type of players you look for in the draft, what type of skills you're supposed to have, how you have to defend, even if you are a naturally big player. You have to be able to get out to the wing. Big players are expected to shoot threes now. You in a time 10, 20 years ago, if you were 7-footer shooting a three, get on the bench. You are not allowed to shoot. You're not allowed to shoot threes. Now it's expected. So his influence on the game of basketball is almost impossible to quantify, but it is palatable and we can see it. And I think that Lamar Jackson has been one of those players that everyone has had a very difficult time evaluating, has had a very difficult time defining. It's why he's been so polarizing in what he is and what he's capable of, although he has 2 MVPs in the league already. Yeah. I think that his influence, when he is able to win a Super Bowl, will be so much more far-reaching that it really will feel minimizing to have him be argued about in the GOAT conversation, because that's really what it feels like with Steph. Like, why are we minimizing Steph to, like, is he better than LeBron? Is he better than Michael? We know what Steph is, and he has his own orbit and legacy that really matters, and the comparison kind of takes away from that.
I think it's incredibly well said.
Okay, listen. I'm going to just cut it at hers, right? I'm just going to cut it at hers, because I did like the comparison to Steph Curry, which... you know, I laugh at a lot because everyone says, well, LeBron, and rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? LeBron is the overall better player. But when we're talking about impact, him and Steph got the same amount of rings. Right? It was never expected for Steph to be Steph or to do what Steph does. Never. That's why I kind of like this argument. Now, what do I feel like greatest of all time? I do believe that Lamar can become the greatest of all time. All it takes is a spark. We are talking, sports is one of the funniest things ever, right? And I really want y'all to understand media narratives, right? Just like how Stephen A. Smith has tried to erase every bad thing that he's ever said about Lamar and simply putting it into a stratosphere of, we just wanted to ask when is he going to win a Super Bowl. That's all we've ever said. We never questioned his ability. We never questioned anything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we did question if he could throw, but that was quickly dispelled. Quickly. You mean 4 or 5 seasons you were still asking that question? You get where I'm coming from? Trying to erase history. But people seem to forget, like they really do forget, that these things have happened. There's nothing new under the sun. It's happened before. People are acting and looking at this like we haven't seen quarterbacks that were highly touted win later in their career or weren't touted highly and win early and often. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Lamar has the ability, capability to win multiple. I've already come out and said he will not win less than 2 rings. He'll have 2 rings for each one of his middle fingers at the minimum when everything is said and done. The crazy thing is they've already put him in a box saying you can't be the GOAT, which is mind-boggling to me, right? They've already put him in a box saying you cannot be the GOAT. You're going 6 championships, you can't be the GOAT. They've already taken him out of the conversation, which to me is unfair, right? If you, listen, the GOAT, Brady, had to win a lot of Super Bowls. And I'm not even saying it's even possible to win 7. I mean, winning 7 is so, it's like Bill Russell. Like, who's going to win 11 titles or something like that? Like, I believe that's how many titles Bill Russell has is 11. I think he won 11 titles out of 13 seasons in the NBA. Something of that effect. You know what I mean? So it's hard to do. But it doesn't mean it can't be passed and you not be considered the greatest. Because Michael Jordan is considered the greatest. He barely has half of what Bill Russell has when it comes to championships. Because when you're looking at a player, you have to look at the player in its totality. And they're saying we don't care about his totality. He cannot be that. And that's my problem with these narratives. It's like, Lamar got 2 MVPs, yeah. He led the league in passing touchdown, yeah. But he's just not that. Justin Herbert hasn't won anything, hasn't had only had 1 winning season. He could be that. Lawrence, oh, you see that long flowing hair? Head and shoulders, he could be that. Josh, oh, he's so big, he's so strong, he's a bull in the China shop. Oh, yeah, I love the way he runs over people, even though those same comparisons you held against Cam Newton. We love Josh Allen, right? We love him. That's what they say. You don't say, he can't be that. You're already saying that Joe Burrow could be that. Matter of fact, if rings are everything, you guys were happily trying to put Joe Burrow and Josh Allen at the same level, if not higher, than Patrick Mahomes, when Patrick had already won one. And threw for 5,000 yards. And threw for 50 touchdowns. So what are we talking about here? It's not all about rings. It's about the totality of your career. That's my problem. Because with Lamar, nothing he does matters. Everyone says, oh, it's because he didn't win. Dan Marino didn't win. He won one MVP. One. He's considered a top 10 quarterback of all time. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know that, right? Like that, what's his name on the Broncos? He won 2. And he was barely present. Like he wasn't like they won him, but he was regulated to barely a role player. Go look up those games, those teams. He was no longer the MVP level player. They got him as a top 10 quarterback of all time. Make it make sense. They were arguing that Brett Favre could be second or third best quarterback ever, right? For the longest time. He only got one title. Aaron Rodgers only has one title. Drew Brees only has one title. Dan Marino has no titles. So if those are the top 10, why, if we're looking at, it only takes one and one MVP, why is it so hard to see Lamar as something like that? Ask yourself, take a step back. Don't look at it as Lamar, like, oh, it's Lamar and da da. Take a step, ask the question realistically. Why? Doesn't make sense. Guys have achieved less and been held to higher glory standards than Lamar. And I'm telling y'all, one is not enough. Listen, even if Lamar wins one, it won't be enough in their eyes. Lamar has to. The only way the media changes their narrative fully on Lamar Jackson, and they erase everything that they said, they try to be like, we're always on the Lamar Jackson train, is if he wins, or not even if, when he wins his second. And then once he wins his second, then they're going to say, well, can he pass and get more than Mahomes? That's going to be the next narrative. And if he ties up with Mahomes, right? Like Mahomes started off faster than Lamar, but Lamar's career ended with more championships. Like it ended better than Mahomes. Then it's going to be like, oh, right? But they still might pick Mahomes. Because, like, I like Lamar, but it's just, I like more of a pure passer. That's what's going to be. All I'm asking for is transparency and being fair in your evaluation. Like, y'all are not even fair in your evaluation. And then after you're proven wrong in your evaluation, you act like you never gave that original evaluation. Make it make sense. Oh! And Acho, you thought you was going to get out of this episode without a slap? No, you're catching 2 of them. With your jaw looking so large. Oh! Yes! And you know I had to do it to you. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. But what do you guys think? Do you agree? Thinking there's no way, it's impossible for Lamar Jackson to ever be considered or ever be looked at as maybe being a GOAT or the GOAT in the NFL? I want to ask y'all that. Or do you believe that there's a chance? He already got 2 MVPs. If he gets hot and they start winning them, anything can happen. Let me know what you think down in the comment section, all right? But as always, that's the episode of The Wunderkind Show. Thank you for watching. I know how we get down. We have fun and we laugh, but everything we talk about rooted in what? Facts and truth. Before we go any further, I want to give a big thanks to Jason Johnson, who wrote Nitro from my nizzle, J Jizzle, my nizzle rises, who donated a nice, hefty, large, robust $20 donation. Now, listen, let me tell you this right now. Mr. Johnson, thank you so much. I always tell this, and I'm going to keep saying this. It's hard to earn money these days, man. People are earning and having to spend out because of inflation and everything else like that. I am humbled and I am thankful for all donations that you guys give. I don't care if it's for $1. You know what I'm saying? Money does not grow on trees. Everybody's working hard for their dollars, hustling for their dollars. So I feel blessed and I feel thankful that you guys would invest your hard-earned money into this platform. So I just want to thank you and every other person that has donated. And let's keep building. Yeah, we need a couple more donations. If we get a couple more sizable donations like this, we're going to be able to get that Starlink. So thank you guys so much for supporting the channel and showing love. I respect you guys, and let's keep doing this the right way. And if you have not already done so, check out the Wonderkind Show's Patreon. Yes, 3 tiers of content goodness waiting for your consumption. Give it a look, give it a try. Let me know what you think. And if you'd like to donate to this channel, help out with equipment and such stuff like that, bottom of the screen, like Mr. Johnson did, QR codes to a Cash App. Cash is located in the description of every video that we do. Name of it is The Wunderkind Show. Super easy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. We're kind of getting to 10,000 subscribers. Let's do it as a team. Let's do it as a unit. Let's do it as Wunderkinds. Yes, ma'ams. Yes, sirs. But that's the episode of The Wunderkind Show. This is your host, Nectar, signing off. And as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Oh, gotta turn that one off. Yeah.
Finish him, Daddy.
Oh, oh.